Hi, hello, my little whales. Today we're doing something that I've always wanted to try. We were at my local craft thrift store and I found this little junk journal DIY kit. And I've always wanted to do a junk journal, so I'm super excited to make my own. And then next to the junk journals, they also had a basket of mystery junk to put in the journals. So as soon as we complete it, I'm going to open this up and see what junk we have and make a page out of it. Okay, so I haven't opened it yet, but on the back there is like a supply list. Let's just open it up and see what we are working with. Okay, so we have the instructions, front and back. We have a thin piece of cardboard, two other pieces that I'm assuming are probably the front and back. This probably goes in the middle. A magazine, or not even a whole magazine, just some pages. We have what I assume is the wax thread, some manila folders, some cut in half manila folders, and then the front page, the make your own DIY kit page. First place to start. So this first little bit is telling me like how to make the covers, but I already have those. All right, so to start, lay your spine piece on a flat surface and cover with a piece of painter's tape. It says that you will want some of the tape to come out on both sides. So if you're using thin painter's tape, use two. I've got some thick, so I'm just going to use one piece. Okay, and then flip over so the sticky side is up. Take one cover piece and lay it lined up in length onto the sticky side of the tape, leaving a 1/4 of an inch gap. What? Place the other cover piece on the opposite side, leaving the same size gap. Okay, fold over any excess tape onto the cover pieces, like this stuff. Cover the opposite side of the spine with tape. Burnish with bone folder, pressing down tape onto the cardboard. Be sure to run your bone folder gently into the gap between the spine and the cover on both sides to help with flexibility. Okay, so another piece. Hey! Okay. Okay, what's next? This should now look like a book cover. Yay! Cover your book with paper. So I've got the cover complete. I went through and I used packing tape to seal the edges. I think the instructions said to glue them. Cutting off the corners, gluing it down on the inside cover. I didn't leave the excess along the edges long enough to be able to glue it down. So I just grabbed some packing tape, and I think that was probably a better idea because then I used the packing tape to cover the whole cover. So that way, like, it can't really get scratched or ripped up or anything. But I think so far this is looking really good. I wanted to put something on the middle, but it didn't say anything about it. So hopefully there's another step later. If not, then maybe at the end I'll put something to cover the spine. But right now I think this is looking really good. So we're going to move on to the next step. Okay, the next step. Once covered, take your bone folder card and run it gently over both sides of the cover and once again in the gaps between the spine to help with flexibility. Okay, I've done that. Okay, for the signatures. You want to create 2 signatures, any paper that you prefer. Rule of thumb, the thicker the paper, the less paper you need. If you're using watercolor paper, you might only need 3 sheets. Magazine, you can use up to 10. What's a signature? Take your paper of choice, fold them in half, trim to fit inside your book if needed. Recommended signature size, 10 3/4 by 7 3/4, which will be folded in half and should fit into the book nicely. Nest your pages. No, I don't know what a signature is. I know what, like, a signature is, but I don't think that's what they mean. Maybe that's what this stuff is? But I'm going to look up what a signature means real quick just to see if that's what this is. What is a book signature? A large sheet of paper that is printed with many pages of a book folded multiple times and cut to form a series of connected. I need an image. Oh, Lord. Okay, so the book signature is like, yeah, the pages. Okay, yeah, so that's what this is. All right, so what do I do? Okay, nest your pages, creating 1 signature. This is super thick though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I might separate these. I think it'll just be easier for me in the long run when I have to inevitably sew through manila envelopes. Poke 3 holes in the crease of your signature. 1 hole at the center, 1 at the top, 1 at the bottom. You want to equally space them. Punch all the way through from outside to inside of the signature on the crease. Okay. And I'm going to want them to be not only equally spaced on these, but also at the same point on all 3. So let's just get to marking. Okay, how do I do this without stabbing myself? What? Thread needle with about 15 inches of thread. All right, so they gave me some thread. Ooh. Ooh. Okay. to sew together. Thread needle with about 15 inches of thread. From the inside of the signature, push the needle through the middle hole, leaving a tail. Take the needle down to the hole on the right and push through. Come back to the inside of the signature. Pull the needle up to the unused hole, the hole on the left, and push through that hole back to the outside of the spine. Pull the thread down to the middle and go back into the middle hole. You should now have a long stitch on the outside of the signature and one long stitch on the inside. Or, well, from the inside out. All right, so I have sewn together the signatures. The next step says to assemble the book, take one signature. Glue the last page of the signature and attach it to the back cover of the book. So I would glue this page here. Glue that there. And then take your other signature, say this one, and glue the first page of the signature to the front cover of the book. So front page, front cover. So I was going to glue these down, but I don't think I'm going to be able to use like regular craft glue because of the tape. Like if I try to glue, it's just going to peel right on off. So I've got my hot glue gun that is older than sin. This is probably older than me. I've got my glue gun heating up, and I'm just gonna hot glue the front and the back pages, and then we'll be back. Now that this part is done, it's time to see what's in the little mystery pack. It feels mostly paper, which makes sense. I hope that there is like a picture in here. So I've been to Spare Parts a few times. That's where I got this. And they've got like a wall of just ephemera, a whole bunch of different things. And some of the things they sell are like old picture packs. So it's like people's family pictures, and you can just buy those. So I'm hoping that there's like one or two in here. I'm hoping for like maybe some old magazine ads. I think that would be cool. I don't know. Maybe a sticker or two. I don't know. Let's see. Okay, let's open this. Okay. Ooh, oh. All right. So right on the top here, we've got fabric scraps. Okay, these are cool. This is really something. It's like thread, like rose trimming. That's really cool. And then just some white trim. This little paper that just says believe in yourself. And then some other assorted papers. So we've got this one with flowers. Okay, so no pictures, no ads, but we did get this really cool like rose trimming, another trim. I really like this paper. Hello. And some fabric scraps, which really is the last thing I need. I've got a whole bucket down here of fabric scraps, but that is a-okay. Um, so just upon first glance, I don't feel like there's much here to make a page with, but I'm going to go through, pick some things, see if I've got anything back here that might go with it, and we'll go ahead and get that page done. Okay, so here's the completed junk journal. I say completed, I think it's always going to be a work in progress. Isn't that what a junk journal is? You're right, Mindy. It is always a work in progress, just like this first page. So I did the first page yesterday, and I completed it, but it just wasn't really sitting right with me. I didn't like it. I didn't like that it was the first page also. It just kind of felt bland and impersonal. So I have actually redone it. And this is what the new page looks like. I think this looks much better. This is a little bit more me. There's a little bit more personalization on there. There's more details. Um, just overall a better vibe than what the first one looked like. And since it is a junk journal, like for me and my things, I just needed it to feel more me. And this one does. So, yeah, the junk journal is on its way to being full of junk. Um, yeah. So, just a reminder that if at first you hate it, it's fine to scrap it. Scrap it, start again. Alrighty, this was a bit of a long one. If you made it all the way to the end, type fart in the comments. That would be great. I put out new videos every Thursday, so like, subscribe, turn on notifications, and I will see you next week. Bye bye.